Facebook, my family and friends. My name is Virginia. Everybody should see that by my Facebook page. But they call me Sweet Mama. And I'm coming on live today to share some information with you that I haven't shared with anybody on Facebook. I have only shared this with my church members, especially my husband, Pastor Jones, and I only shared it with my sisters and brothers and my children, and maybe a few of my nieces and nephews might know. But you all know Pastor Jones was diagnosed with kidney failure back in January 2018. And I would never forget that day. Because when he got up that morning, he was just acting so strange. He wasn't feeling good. He couldn't focus. I immediately took him to the emergency room, Herman Memorial. And I'm just thinking he's just probably just sick with his diabetes. He's been having diabetes since the age of 30. So when we got there, the doctor took him in right on in. And there was a lot of things that was going on with his health issue at the time. And the reason I say I would never forget, because January the 10th, 2018, I told my daughter, we had been at the hospital so long, I told my daughter, Roslyn, I said, I'm going to Starbucks and get us some coffee. And I went to Starbucks. I was in line. I had a car in front of me and a car behind me, so I was next in line. Then my daughter, Roslyn, called, and she said, Mama, you need to get back to the hospital. And I'm like, why? She said, they just gave Dad some bad news. And she told me both of his kidneys had failed. And I was so devastated because I felt like I was blocked in and locked in and couldn't get out to get back there with my husband. So I got back to the hospital and they told us that they were going to need to have to start dialysis on him. So to make a long story short, on January 10, 2018, my husband was diagnosed with both of his kidneys failed, which means his kidney wasn't functioning at all. So he's been on home dialysis. He had to go through a lot of procedure, and if anybody know about getting set up for dialysis, we did home dialysis. We did dialysis at the clinic, which he's back on. And it's just that going through the process of going through those things and going through the devastation of, and every day is a different thing. Every day is a process of making sure everything at home, is going to be what he needs to have it, to make sure that his health and his life can be longevity. And he got on the kidney transplant list, I think, in June of 2018. And every year we have to go once a year to get all of these major testing done in order to keep him on the transplant list. So he just got over a lot of procedures that he had to do, because in the recent month, when he went in, they said they found something on his heart, they found something on his lungs, something wrong with his stomach. So we went through all of those tests and praying, knowing that God is going to bring us through. And he did. And all of his tests came back negative. Everything was fine. And I know we have some prayer warriors out there. I know my family been praying for my husband. I know church people been praying for my husband. I pray for him daily. So I know it's a lot of things that's going on. So jumping up to now, they said that in the recent month, my husband's name have came to the top of the list, and which means that he's getting closer to having a kidney donation. And we've been, talking with them. So we had to get a lot of clearance from his heart special cardiology, from, his neurology doctor, just every doctor had a dentist, you name it, foot specialist. Everybody had to give clearance every year to make sure he can go ahead and proceed with his kidney. He's been doing real good at the dialysis, keeping his phosphate number down, his protein, and his You know, the 3 Ps as they call it. They want to make sure everything stays, A1C level is good. His blood pressure kind of spiked up, but right now his blood pressure is good. So I just came on to announce I'm wearing this color green to represent people that have had kidney failure. And a lot of people don't know what my husband been through and what I've been through, you know, with him, trying to stick with him side by side. We've been together 44 years, and I have a wonderful husband. I thank God for him, and I thank God for allowing him to still be here. If you watch him on Sunday on Facebook, he's still standing strong for God. But right now he has some issues that he's going through that I know God is going to bless him with to heal and pull it through. So what I got on to announce that I'm going to be my husband's kidney donor. I have spoke with the transplant team, I have spoke with my family, I have spoke with the church members, spoke with him about it. First of all, I spoke with God about it. I prayed about it, and I was sitting in the living room one night, and sitting there watching the movie. My husband was in the bed sleeping. And when I prayed about it, it was like God came to me and said, why not? He said, go ahead and do it. And I jumped up immediately, and I ran in the bedroom, and I said, baby, I said, guess what? He was like, what? I said, I'm going to be your kidney donor. But I said it in a happy move, in a happy moment, and I was so excited because years ago I couldn't do it. And it's just the emotional time. Years ago, some of his family members, my children that tried, couldn't do it because they had a lot of strict criteria. But when I talked with the transplant team, she said the criteria has changed. I should be a good candidate. You know, so it's a lot of things that they don't look at now that they did back then 4 years ago. So I'm going to be his kidney donor, and I'm going to be doing my first appointment is going to be on October the 4th, and I have to be there at 7 a.m. They told me not to eat or drink anything before then. Y'all know how I love coffee, so yes, my sister Deborah Bunny, who's watching it, I'm gonna have to stay away from my coffee for a while, but I have to go in and get all my vital signs done. I have to get my lab work done, which, you know, consists of my blood work. I have to go through a transplant team consulting starts at 8 o'clock, but I have to be there at 6:30 to start all my other appointments. And I have to see the neurology, the coordinator, the advocate, the nutrition, the pharmacy. I have to see those people, and I think I'm gonna have a setting with them at least from 30 minutes. They say can go up to 2 hours. So I know I'm gonna be at Herman Hospital all day. My diagnosis and testing, I have to have a echogram, EKG done that day as well, heart testing, stress test screening. So I have to go to the heart and vascular unit for that. And then also, I have to have a chest x-ray done in radiology department, CRI. So I have to have that done. So I know that I'm gonna be at the hospital all day, probably from 6:30 or 7 when my testing started up until about 4 or 5. So I'm just asking you all to pray with me. I'm going to be screaming live what I'm going to be doing. And it's going to be called Sweet Mama Journey to Donating a Kidney to her husband, Pastor Richard Jones. So y'all share my video. You know, like I said earlier, the reason I'm wearing green because it's the color that represents kidney failure. And the day that me and my husband do get prepared for this surgery, I would love for everybody to wear them. I would love for everybody to wear green because I know it's, you know, it can be very stressful. And you know, the devil tries to get busy with me. And even just last night, are you doing the right thing? But this is something that I want to do for my husband. Like I said, we've been together 44 years. But I want y'all to share the video with other people. Because when I went into the transplant team, they have a big old picture frame People that have donated from sister to sister, brother to brother, husband to wife, wife to husband, cousin to cousin. And it just, the list just go on, and they just post a picture of everybody they have donated. So hopefully me and Pastor Jones, well, I'm not going to say hopefully, but I know me and Pastor Jones' picture is going to be on the transplant wall. But I just ask everybody to share this video, because I want people to understand the importance of really, first of all, taking care of yourself. Being a diabetic and, having high blood pressure. He's on like 8 different types of medication, 2 insulin. And hopefully with the kidney, it can help him to get off of some medication. I know that they told us that once he had the surgery that he'll be on 20 different types of medication, probably for about 6 months to a year. So y'all pray for Pastor Richard Jones. Y'all pray for me, sweet mama. And I know God is going to bring us through, because I pray daily for this. And God has answered me. And I talk with my brothers and my sister and they're all in my corner. And I thank you all. I really thank you all for that, because he needs to be encouraged. And I need to be encouraged. And I just ask y'all to just continue to pray for us. And as I say, share the video with other people. Just share it with your friends, and not to let them know that this is just a show of what I'm doing, but just to let them be aware of a situation with kidney failure. Because like one doctor told me, he said back in the 30s and 40s and 50s, they didn't even have dialysis. When people have kidney failure, they just have kidney failure and they just die. But God have allowed technology to be able to keep a person alive until they get on a kidney transplant. So I thank you all so much. I thank you for your prayers. I will keep you posted. As I say, I go to the doctor on October the 4th for my first visit. And y'all pray for me that day, because I know I'll be there all day. I think a couple of my daughters want to go with me, because I know I can't have Pastor Jones with me. I know he can, but I want him to stay at home and rest, because he has a issue with his foot he's dealing with now and trying to get that healed. So y'all pray for us. I love you guys. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube. I'm on there on the Sweet Mama.
Used by the Medicare ABCs.
I love you guys.
Red, white, and blue Medicare
pray for me.
Then you have
and
Part
we'll
A and B.
see you all when I get back. And please share this video.
Also known as Medicare Advantage, and it's
love
one
you
of the
guys.
best ways to
have a blessed day.
yourself from